Well, let's get started. Lecture 2 of section 3. In this section, we actually start with animating the chopsticks first, and the scenario we considered for them is that they hit the jazz sticks on the holder. After this chopstick, we will start with those whose holders are blue and white. First, we place the playhead on frame 1 and create keyframes for both chopsticks in frame 1 in all location and rotations. Then for a better view when animating, we hide all the plates and first select the left chopstick. Then by pressing numpad 1, we look at the scene from the front view and turn on auto keyframe, and then place the playhead on frame 20 and press the G key and move it a little. We move it up, and then we place the playhead on frame 40, and by pressing the R key, we move the tip of the chopsticks a little down to near the table. Then we select the right chopstick and place the playhead on frame 20, and by pressing the R key, we move the tip of the chopstick up a little, and then we place the playhead on frame 40, and by pressing the G key, we move it up a little, and we move it back a bit, and also by pressing the R key, we move its tip down a bit. Then we select the left chopstick and place the playhead on frame 60 and move it downwards and a bit back with the G key, and move it up with the R key. Also in frame 60, we select the right chopstick and then move its tip down to the holder with the R key. Now we review the created animation by moving the playhead a few times, and then we select all the keyframes by dragging and by pressing the S key and placing the playhead in frame 1. We reduce the dimensions of the keyframes to somewhere close to frame 40. As you can see, we select one to the last keyframes and get duplicates and move to 13 frames after the last frame in frame 53, and then also select the last frames and get duplicates and move to 13 frames after the last frame in frame 66. We fit and we also create the keyframe of the other chopstick in the same way. When the work is finished, we will definitely check the animation again to correct it if there is a problem, because we will copy the rest of the chopsticks from this animation, although with some changes. Next, by checking the animation, we realized that we need to add some keyframes to improve the movements of the chopsticks. Keep in mind that we do this by duplicating. So let's start. First, we must turn off the auto keyframe and then duplicate the last two keyframes and move 13 frames forward and place them on frame 92, and then duplicate the last four keyframes this time, and we take it and move it forward 13 frames again and place it on frame 144, and then we place the playhead on frame 1, and by pressing the S key and moving the keyframes in the timeline, we make them smaller until the last keyframe is on frame 80, and also like the previous chopstick, for the side chopstick, we do all the things and movements in the same way as before. Now we delete the chopsticks that are on the right side of the previous chopsticks, and then we get a duplicate from one of the chopsticks for which we created keyframes, and make sure that the auto keyframe is on, and then by numpad 7 we look from up, and by pressing the G and Y keys we put on the pink and white holder, and also by moving the playhead to the right and left and moving in a different direction. We check the animation we have created, and then do all the things and movements in the same way as with the previous chopstick, and place the new chopstick next to the previous one, and again, for to be sure of the created animation, we move the playhead several times and compare it with other objects to solve it if there is a problem. Well, for these chopsticks which are in a different direction from the previous chopsticks, we must make some changes after duplicating, because the previous ones were in the Y direction and these are in the X direction. So by pressing Shift and D we get duplicate and bring the chopsticks down and rotate it to 0 with the R key in the Z direction, and then remove one of the chopsticks and place the duplicated chopsticks on the holder and set it on the holder, and turn on the auto keyframe, and then fix it by pressing the G and R keys on frame 1. As you can see, by moving the playhead on frame 8, the chopstick is moved from the holder to another place. So we move the chopstick near the holder by dragging, and then with the R key in the Z direction approximately to 0 degrees. We rotate it, then we set it on the holder in the right place and fix the keyframe by pressing the G and R keys. Also, by moving the playhead on frame 15, the chopstick is moved from the holder to another place. So we move the chopstick near the holder by dragging, and then with the R key in the Z direction approximately to 0 degrees, we rotate it. Then we set it on the holder in the right place and fix the keyframe by pressing the G and R keys. Then like the movement and settings of the previous keyframes, we continue all the items and options in the same way until frame 37, and from frame 37 onwards, which are 6 keyframes, we delete them, and up to this point we move the playhead to the right and left, and we check the animation. So we get duplicate the last 2 keyframes and move 6 frames forward and place them on frame 50, and then get duplicate the last 4 keyframes this time, and we take it and move it forward 6 frames again and place it on frame 77, and then we set the keyframes by moving and pressing S to scaling until we get frame 80. So we move the playhead to the right and left and move in the 3D viewport. We check the animation. Well guys, let's go to animate the rest of the chopsticks. First we delete one of the chopsticks that are on the black and white holder, and then by pressing numpad 7 we look at the scene from the top view, and the chopstick that is in the opposite direction of the one we deleted, and on the blue and white holder we select it, and then by pressing the shift and D keys we get a duplicate and place it on the white and black holder, and then with the R key we rotate it almost 90 degrees and set it on the holder in the right place. Of course, friends, don't forget that the playhead must be placed on frame 1, and also the auto keyframe must be turned on. Now we place the playhead on frame 8, and then by moving the chopstick on the holder and pressing the R key, we rotate it almost 90 degrees, and then set it on the holder in the right place. Next we go to the next frame, which is 15, and place the playhead on frame 15, and then by moving the chopstick on the holder and pressing the R key, we rotate it almost 90 degrees, and then set it on the holder in the right place. Also we do the rest of the keyframes, which are frames 22, 30 and 37 in the same way as the previous keyframes, and then we delete the keyframes from frame 37 onwards, and we get duplicate the last two keyframes, which are 37 and 30, and go to the next 7 frames. We move to frame 44, and then also from the last 4 keyframes, which are 30, 37, 44 and 51. We get a duplicate and move it to the next 7 frames up to frame 80. As you can see, the animation work of this chopstick has been completed, and don't forget to move the playhead several times to the left and right in the timeline, and also check the animation in different directions in the 3D viewport until if there is a problem, solve it. Well, let's animate the next chopstick. First we delete this chopstick and get a duplicate of the chopstick that is on the white and black holder, and then move it down in the y direction, and make sure that auto keyframe is on and the playhead is on frame 1, and we set it on the right place. And as you can see, the location number of this chopstick has only changed in the y direction. So we copy this number, and then we place the playhead on frame 8, and paste the location of the previous number in the y part, and also then place the playhead on frame 15 and paste the location of the previous number in the y part, and do the same method until the last keyframe, which is frame 80. So we do this all the keyframes, and then at the end we check all the keyframes and make sure that the y number of all of them are the same, and then we check the created animation so that there is no problem. Next we will do the same for the next chopstick. So let's do this quickly. First we will remove the chopstick from that one, and then we will duplicate the right chopstick on the white and black holder, and place it on the new holder in the Y direction, and then we set it in the right place, and don't forget to make sure that auto keyframe is on, and the playhead is on frame 1, and as you can see the location number of this chopstick has only changed in the Y direction. So we copy this number, and then we place the playhead on frame 8 and paste the location of the previous number in the Y part, and also then place the playhead on frame 15 and paste the location of the previous number in the Y part, and do the same method until the last keyframe, which is frame 80. So we do this all the keyframes, and then at the end we check all the keyframes and make sure that the Y number of all of them are the same, and then we check the created animation so that there is no problem. For the animation of the last chopsticks that are on the gray and white holder, we first remove the right chopstick, and then get a duplicate of the one on the right from the previously animated chopstick, and move it to the gray and white holder, and then with pressing the R key we rotate it almost 180 degrees, and we set it and fix it on the holder in the right place, and don't forget that auto keyframe is on, and the playhead is on frame 1. Next we place the playhead on frame 8, and then by pressing the R key we rotate it approximately 180 degrees, and set and fix it on the holder in the right place, and then we place the playhead on frame 15, and then by pressing the R key we rotate it almost 180 degrees and set and fix it on the holder in the right place. We also do this method and movements and rotations for frames 22, 30 and 37 in the same way as before, and then we delete the keyframes from frame 37 onwards, and we duplicate the last two keyframes, which are 37 and 30, and go to the next 7 frames. Then we move to frame 44, and then also from the last 4 keyframes, which are 30, 37, 44 and 51, we get a duplicate and move it to the next 7 frames up to frame 80. As you can see, the animation work of this chopstick has been completed. And don't forget to move the playhead several times to the left and right in the timeline, and also check the animation in different directions in the 3D viewport until if there is a problem, solve it. So then we remove the left chopstick and then get a duplicate of the one on the left from the previously animated chopstick, and move it to the gray and white holder, and then with pressing the R key we rotate it almost 180 degrees, and we set and fix it on the holder in the right place. And don't forget that auto keyframe is on and the playhead is on frame 1. Next we place the playhead on frame 8, and then by pressing the R key we rotate it approximately 180 degrees and set and fix it on the holder in the right place. And then we place the playhead on frame 15, and then by pressing the R key we rotate it almost 180 degrees and set and fix it on the holder in the right place. We also do this method and movements and rotations for frames 22, 30 and 37 in the same way as before, and then we delete the keyframes from frame 37 onwards, and we get duplicate the last two keyframes, which are 37 and 30, and go to the next frames. Then we move to frame 44, and then also from the last four keyframes, which are 30, 37, 44 and 51, we get duplicate and move it to the next 7 frames up to frame 80. As you can see, the animation work of this chopstick has been completed, and don't forget to move the playhead several times to the left and right in the timeline, and also check the animation in different directions in the 3D viewport until if there is a problem, solve it.